just come back from the most life-changing trip in Portugal. I know, Portugal, right? So as you know, in the movies, you always hear people talk about France, and you hear all these love stories about Italy. But when I tell you, I fell in love with Portugal unexpectedly, by the way. And I can't wait to just unpack with you some of the pros and cons that you should just be aware of before you travel to this beautiful country. All right, stay tuned, guys. We're going to give you all the pros and cons and everything that you need to know. Stay tuned. Forgive my background. This is actually right here in beautiful United States, in the beautiful Sunshine State in Florida. I wanted to record the video for you in Portugal at one of the sites, but I was too busy enjoying myself, guys, so I apologize. I might go back and do a video to highlight some of the things in Portugal, because that'll give me an excuse to go back just for you guys. All right, so we're gonna unpack some of the pros and cons. Now, I hate to just do all the pros and all the cons. I feel like do a balance. So I'm gonna give you a con, and then I'm gonna give you a pro. Okay, how about that? All right, okay. And honestly, guys, the pros outweigh the cons. I will tell you one thing: if you do fly into Lisbon, which most people, if you live in United States, if you fly into Lisbon, you have the option of flying to Portugal, but I would start in Lisbon, guys, because it's just more central and more things to see and more things to get to from Lisbon. From the airport, in my experience, from the airport to my hotel, it did look a little run down, in my opinion. I was just like, ooh, this doesn't look as nice as like Italy or Spain. I studied abroad in Barcelona, and I was like, this doesn't look as glamorous. But guys, when I tell you, there was so much beauty to unlock beyond just that ride from the airport to my hotel. I just don't want you to be discouraged going from the hotel, like, where did I fly into? These people have been lying. So just be aware that there might be a thing. So let's start with one of the first cons that you might experience in traveling to Portugal, particularly Lisbon, is it is called the City of Seven Hills. So guys, you need to bring your best knees and your best lungs. Okay, sometimes I would be walking up the hill, and I would literally stop, get a pastel de nata, get one of their little egg custard things that they're known for. I would stop, drink some water, get one of those, and then keep going up the mountain. Because it was so steep. So you do need to make sure that you have the right footwear, that you have, that you're prepared, okay? One of the pros, that's the con, but the pro is there is diverse landscape. So if you don't want to do the city life and walk up the hills, if you want to just chill by the beach, they have that option. If you want to go to Cascais, which feels like the Cannes of France to me, it's so beautiful and so upscale, and I feel like it's a little bougie as well. That's an option. Go there, okay? You can go to Sintra, you can go to Belém, you can hang out in so many different parts. So if the hills aren't working for you, they have a range of options. Oh, and of course, I love, let me make sure I mention it now, Cabo de Roca, okay? And it's like all these beautiful ocean cliff sides, and so, okay. So let's move on. Let's go to our second con. Second con is slippery sidewalks and walkways. So I don't know, unfortunately, they thought it was a good idea to take like stones or something, like these really slippery stone bricks, and break them up and make sidewalks out of them. Guys, when I tell you these things are slippery, I know at least 3 people that almost fell. Thankfully, I had on these sandals that I wore in Italy, because some of Italy has some of this same terrain on their sidewalks, and it's very slippery. So I had these shoes that I didn't even know, guys, were going to work out so well. They were only like $20-something. I researched on Amazon like comfortable walking shoes, and there was like these tight sandals, and I was like, okay, well, I'll buy them. They're only $20, but they end up being perfect for Italy and for this trip. I'll put a link for my Amazon store so you can see them for yourself and see if they have your size and a color you like, okay? So that's an option, but you do need to bring you some footwear. Most people I saw in there, they had tennis shoes on or some form of sneakers with their garments, okay? So that's a con, but the pro is, guys, you have Uber. Uber is super cheap, super convenient. They come super fast. Like when I tell you, by the time you click the button and say confirm pickup, they're already there, like within 30 seconds to a minute. Uber over there is super cheap, like $4 or $5. You can get to pretty much anywhere if you don't want to do the hills and you don't want to risk slipping. Just Uber, guys. Now, of course, they still have trams, trains, and all that stuff, but just Uber, okay? Just if you have the budget, just Uber. All right, another con that you will notice when you go to Portugal is graffiti. There is a lot of graffiti. A lot. So that was part of the reason why my commute from the airport to my hotel seemed kind of like, I don't know about this. Okay. Sometimes you see graffiti, people just automatically think, oh, it's ghetto, it's not safe around here. Trust me, Portugal was one of the safest places I've ever traveled to. And I travel a lot solo by myself. And it was one of the places that would probably be the top on my list to recommend for even females traveling solo would be Portugal, particularly like Lisbon area, in Cascais and Sintra. Those would be my top on my list, like very top. It's abnormally safe. I don't know why it was so safe, but it was safe. All right, another con that some people have mentioned, and I only saw it once, is dog poop. Not all people, it's not a common practice for people to pick up their dog poop. I only saw it once or twice when I was there for like 9 or 10 days, but that may be something that you may experience. Now, again, are some areas throughout Lisbon, throughout just Portugal that are breathtaking, and some parts that may be like, ooh, that doesn't look so appealing, but they have a range of options, okay? So you don't have to worry about if you go to a part that looks a little maybe not as developed or run down. Chances are if you go 4 blocks, you'll be in what looks like Beverly Hills. Okay, not Beverly Hills really, but the Portugal version.
So much more to cover, so you want to be sure that you stay tuned to the very end. But show your support, please, by pushing that like button and subscribing. All right, stay tuned, guys.
Let's jump into the next con that you might experience. This is more so for those that maybe end up visiting Porto, which I really hope you do. It's only 3 hours north of Lisbon. I think even the first class train ticket from Lisbon to Porto only cost me like $44, and that was like the first class ticket. I'm sure you can get one cheaper than that. Is that sidewalks may become roads. So because of their infrastructure and because of just tourism, etc., you might notice that you're walking and all of a sudden a car is behind you. Like, okay, wait a minute, especially in America, because we have sidewalks that are meant for people to walk and on the side, not the road. Why are there cars on my heels? So just know that may be something that you deal with. Now, the opposite of that is, I don't really have one that's directly connected, but I do want to bring up this pro that I love, that was my absolute favorite, especially as an extrovert, is the people of Portugal were so helpful and so friendly. Like if you asked anyone for help, if you needed directions, or you're lost, or you needed a recommendation, very helpful. A lot of people speak English, so it'll be easy for you to get around. All right, last thing, guys. It's really not Portuguese food, can be an acquired taste. You do want to try the pastel de nata. So I'm pretty sure I'm not saying it right, but it's little small egg custard thingies. They're like this big. They're only like $1.50 or $1.50 euro, whatever. 150 euro, I should say. If you get them, make sure it's like brown on the top. Like they need to be like black, like brulee, like creme brulee on the top, and like runny in the middle. That's when they're really good and warm. They're heaven. They're so good. Now, other Portuguese thing like duck rice and some other things might be an acquired taste. The duck rice wasn't for me. It wasn't my jam. Was not. But other things you may love about Portuguese cuisine. But the pro is, with especially in Lisbon, there is a wide range of restaurants covering every cuisine imaginable. I'm going to put up a few of the restaurants that I ate at that were thebomb.com. Porto, I ate at this restaurant. We ate at this steakhouse. Guys, when I tell you it was the best customer service experience I ever have had, like these people were short of like licking the bottom of our foot. They were just amazing, like how much they took care of us and made sure we had a great experience. I didn't even ask for a tip. I made sure I tipped them like over 25%, but they were amazing. Okay, so there's a range of eatery options. I ate ramen some nights I ate Mexican, some nights I ate Portuguese, so you have a range of options available, right? The other pro, because I have no more cons, because again, the pros outweigh the cons for Portugal, is Apple Pay. Guys, I never had to take out my wallet, like ever. I just use my phone for everything. I call Uber, then I pay for whatever. Apple Pay was accepted everywhere, like everywhere. And it was great because you don't have to worry about the safety of like losing a card or, you know, somebody seeing your card or whatever. Okay, so those are just some of the pros and cons that I experienced during my time in Portugal. I'm so yearning to get back there as soon as possible. I have another video for you that's going to outline for you some of the top 10 things you should see while in Portugal. So stay tuned for the video. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to push like and subscribe, and stay tuned guys for the next video.